Byron Williams. And then he kept asking me, well, you know, this guy was a fan of you as well, he said, and, you know, do you feel like you're encouraging this? And, oh, your speech might cause problems. And I said, what's causing problems is this society is unraveling. We're becoming a third world joke like Mexico. And no one can deny that. So you're going to have civil unrest. But I'm speaking out against civil unrest because the system is going to use that as a pretext to crack down on everyone. And he just didn't want to hear any of it. He didn't want to hear any of it. And he'd make jokes about world government, and I'd say, you know, they're forming world government. Would you like me to give you video quotes where they're admitting world government, world leaders? And it was just all very funny to the guy. And it shows the delusional type of world view that these people basically are living in. So I will get into that coming up a little bit later in the transmission. Some of the other news that we're going to be going over deals with, obviously, the midterm elections that are coming up. We're going to get into this huge stack of key news on the economy. I'm tempted to play clips, if I have time later, of Glenn Beck's show yesterday where they were attacking this radio show, my website, Infowars.com. I noticed they plugged Infowars.com, but then in the transcript on GlennBeck.com, they removed the reference to Infowars.com, so that's what they think of their listeners. You know, excising that out. I would imagine Beck getting medical treatment through a hissy fit when he found out that they had done that. And it was so amazing to watch the 14-minute clip that is up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com in our article, Beck Sidekicks Attempt to Debunk Diet Coke Controversy, because they made it about the left-right paradigm. They said, yeah, these liberals don't like Donald Rumsfeld, and they claim that he basically, you know, sneaks in starting in the 80s and poisoned Glenn's Coke to kill him. And isn't that a stupid business plan to want to debilitate and kill your customers? You mean like the cigarette makers or the Agent Orange makers or DU maiming and killing our own troops or our own government injecting black people in this country and men, women, and children in Guatemala and other countries with live syphilis and giving them debilitating disease that ended up killing a bunch of them? You mean stuff like that? And so they made it all about Rumsfeld's disease, because that's what it's been dubbed by many doctors and scientists, because they couldn't get it approved twice in the 70s. Rumsfeld took over the pharmacological company, Searle, and he publicly said, we'll make this political. And he got Ronald Reagan to basically pressure the FDA to get it approved. I mean, we have the studies where it gave brain tumors and blindness and other serious problems to the rhesus monkeys. See, I said I'd get to this later. I'm already getting into it. And the article they were making fun of that we had written, a warning to Glenn Beck, don't drink Diet Coke, was linked to Fox News, AP, Reuters, major university studies. And they didn't care. They just said we were complete lunatics and that the same chemicals that are in Diet Coke and thousands of other products, tens of thousands now, is what's in orange juice. And that's the big lie about the phenylalanine and some of the other chemicals that they talked about being in there. Aspartame breaks down into a derivative of wood alcohol and formaldehyde. And that's why people who were drinking bad gin, bad bathtub booze in the great decade of Prohibition, headed into the Great Depression, that's why so many people went blind. Anybody knows that winos end up drinking Sterno, they end up going in to drugstores and buying wood alcohol because it's like 50 cents a bottle, and they drink the stuff and they get high as a kite, but it also makes them go blind. And it's highly addictive. You know, these guys didn't tell you that aspartame is the secretion, the defecation of the E. coli bacteria. I mean, that's a fact. All you got to do is search the term aspartame manufacturing process. But no, it just all became a big joke, how we're liberals, and if you think aspartame's bad, you're a 9/11 truther. I mean, they actually use that mind control of saying that it's just unspeakable. And we're just trying to warn people here, and we got the facts.
You've seen our SinoFresh banner on the GCN website.
Yet your sinusitis is still a problem.
Are you waiting for your sinusitis to go away by itself?
Are you waiting for a SinoFresh discount?
Okay, here it comes.
But first, the facts.
67 other products merely treat symptoms.
And not the cause of sinus problems.
And 37 million Americans suffer from sinus distress just like you. But now many are finding relief with the only patent-protected homeopathic nasal product that antiseptically eliminates the known causes of sinusitis. SinoFresh.
Now, here's your limited time discount offer to use SinoFresh.
Call 888-906-3636 right now for $2 off per bottle when you mention GCN. That's it. Just call 888-906-3636 and mention GCN for a $2 discount.
But hurry, this offer is only for the first 1,000 customers.
Call 888-906-3636. 888-906-3636. Call right now for $2 off per bottle.
Mention GCN.
Buy SinoFresh.com. It works.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cameras, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
To ship a vehicle safely from point A to point B, which company should you choose? Easy. Stateway Auto Transport. Why trust Patriot-owned Stateway Auto Transport? Many reasons. Stateway is not just a broker, but a fully licensed and bonded carrier with its own fleet of trucks and $1 million of cargo coverage insurance. With Stateway, your vehicle rides safely on a direct route on the same truck, and your shipment is always door-to-door with no hidden fees. And every shipment includes free online vehicle tracking. Simply put, Stateway Auto Transport is the best, most efficient, quickest, and friendliest worldwide shipper in the business. To receive a free quote from a live customer service representative, call 877-848-7474 or see us online at statewayauto.com. That's statewayauto.com or call 877-848-7474. Ask about discounts for seniors, military, and all GCN listeners. Stateway Auto Transport, your one-stop shop for worldwide vehicle transport.
Here is our top story, or our top stack of news. It's all related to what the word austerity means. When we released the Obama deception, now more than a year and a half ago, the entire 2-hour film is about austerity and how it was going to be introduced here and what that word entails. Total economic implosion and bondage by design. We told you they would freeze the bailout and not give it to the public. We told you they would call for more bailouts as stimulus. We told you they would then start taking the pension funds, because this very same group of bankers have done this the world over to helpless third world nations where they've put in paramilitary control systems. And that's in the IMF World Bank documents that the BBC got leaked in 2002. Such a key group of documents that we were able to get, where once the society implodes to a certain level, then riots begin, and they love that because then they get to come in and crack down even more. Then that destroys confidence to an even lower level, and then that causes stocks to go down, infrastructure to go down. The country completely sinks into the financial abyss. The bankers then come in, flush with all the bailout money, and buy up the entire infrastructure. So this is the monopoly game. This is the financial attack and financial terrorism that we're under. Now, here is an article up at prisonplanet.com. Government prepares to seize private pensions. And we haven't done this in a week. I want to do a Google search word today so that people get a full spectrum breakdown from Paul Joseph Watson's article. Government prepares to seize private pensions. So the search term is 3 words: seize private pensions. And I called Paul this morning and asked him to add to his article, so it's ongoing, the fact that this is already happening. And so before I go over this article, this is how the scam works. As I told you 5 years ago, as I told you 4 years ago, as I told you 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, a month ago. Every week we're here specifically warning you how this is going to work, because they've told us how they're going to do it. You understand? This is not my opinion. This is how it's going to be done. Just like I told you, the Trilateral Commission said in 75, 76, in 2 different reports, they would get the whole world in debt, dependent. They would sell derivatives about a decade before they pulled the scam, the implosion. They would use that fiat financial instruments to buy up all the key infrastructure to get countries and individuals in debt. They would entice people with cheap mortgages who couldn't pay them off. And then they would have a concerted global devaluation of currencies to offset the giant bubble of tens of trillions of debt per nation. It's 1,500 plus trillion globally. Impossible to pay off. And that they would then say, okay, the solution is a private global government levying VAT taxes on nations, global VAT financial transactions, taxes on oil, and all carbon-based systems. That's now all in the news every day. Global government being proposed, global bank, it's the solution to the crisis. And the general public isn't informed on these issues, so as things get worse and worse, they're saying, okay, set up the world government, save me from the bankers, when the world government is private and run by the bankers. Now, on the pensions 5 years ago, they changed the federal regulations and laws so that private pensions would have no liability to pay employees who'd signed contracts to be paid those pensions, who had had money taken out of their paychecks for those private pensions. Also, money's taken out of your check, as you know, to put into the Social Security pension, which is gone. They've been spending that as the money comes in since Social Security was set up in the 1930s. And so they've taken your money, pooled it, leveraged it to the power of infinity through derivatives. It makes fractional reserve banking look tame. They've gotten global economic dominance through it, and now they're ready for the final master stroke. And we're entering this key phase. Now, on the issue of pensions, in the last year and a half, this was announced in March by Bloomberg, but we'd already seen it happening at the state level through federal initiatives, public and private pensions are ordered. There's no law, but they're just ordered because the government's dictatorial and all these pension fund managers are scared. And part of the inside baseball crew, and they know, follow orders, you'll be taken care of. You'll get your CEO $20, $30 million a year. Just do what you're told. Just like Bernie Madoff was protected for 11 years. So when we come back, I'm going to explain how all this works and then go through the aftermath of it, because Europe is a year to 2 years ahead of us in this. So we're going to give you a forecast of exactly what to expect in the economy, dealing with your pensions, and a lot more coming up straight ahead. We'll be right back.